Okay, so can we just talk about something that's always seemed, I don't know, completely bizarre to me?
Please.
For decades, literal decades, we've been told calcium is the hero. Drink milk, get strong
The
bones.
cornerstone of skeletal health, yes.
Right, but then why does this hero mineral keep showing up as the villain, secretly paving the inside of our arteries with, like, concrete?
It's a crisis of management. The calcium is a good worker, but it has no supervision.
Exactly. It's like the supervisor got fired. And that supervisor, that mineral traffic cop is vitamin K2. That's what we're diving into.
And it's so critical because it does two things. It's not just a one-trick pony.
It's a dual function, right? It takes the calcium from where it shouldn't be.
Your arteries, your soft tissues,
And then it puts it where it should be.
in your bones and teeth. It's a relocation project.
The Great Calcium Relocation Project. I love that. But okay, let's get into the actual mechanics. How does it do this?
It uses two very specific tools, two proteins that are completely dependent on K2 to even work.
So K2 is like the key in the ignition for these protein machines.
A perfect analogy. Without the key, the machines just sit there, useless.
So what's the first one? The one that does the cleanup job in the arteries?
That one is called matrix GLA protein, or just MGP.
MGP.
And its only job, its entire purpose, is to float around in your soft tissues, find loose calcium, and pull it out.
It literally scrapes the plaque out.
It binds to it and prevents it from forming in the first place and helps clear what's there. It releases it back into the blood safely.
Wow. So if your MGP isn't activated because you don't have enough K to your arteries, they just start hardening.
That's the mechanism of calcification.
That's terrifying. Okay, so MGP cleans up the mess. What's the other tool, the one for delivery?
That's a protein called osteocalcin.
Osteocalcin.
Right, and this one is made by your bone cells. Once K2 activates it, osteocalcin acts like, like a super strong glue.
A glue.
It grabs that calcium that MGP just put back into the bloodstream and locks it into your bone matrix and your teeth.
So if you're low on K2, you get this perfect storm.
The absolute worst of both worlds.
Your arteries are getting hard because MGP is asleep on the job.
And your bones are getting weak because osteocalcin is also asleep on the job.
So the problem isn't the calcium. It was never the calcium. It's the K2 management.
Precisely.
Okay. This brings us to the spectacular irony of modern nutrition.
Oh, it's a big one.
If we need this vitamin so desperately, where do we find it?
Well, it's a fat-soluble vitamin. That should be your first clue.
Oh, no. It's in all the bad stuff, isn't it?
It is heavily concentrated in the very foods that for about 50 years we have been told to avoid at all costs for our heart health.
You're kidding me. The antidote is in the supposed poison.
The irony is pretty intense. The number one highest source by a mile is a food called natto.
Fermented soybeans, big in Japan.
Very big. But for most of us, the best sources are things like goose liver, chicken liver, beef liver.
Okay, not everyone is running out for goose liver. What about, everyday foods?
That's where the paradox really hits home. Grass-fed butter.
The thing we replaced with margarine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
High fat, good quality cheese, salami, pork chops, even traditional sauerkraut has some.
So let me get this straight. We were told to go low fat, avoid butter, cut out cheese. And in doing so, we starved our bodies of the one nutrient that protects our arteries from calcifying.
It's a tragic nutritional misstep. But there's another way to get K2.
Right. The body can make it, can it? From K1.
It can try. You get K1 from leafy greens like spinach and kale. Your gut bacteria are supposed to convert it.
Supposed to. I sense a but coming.
A very big but. The conversion requires a very specific, very special microbe.
The gut gatekeeper.
Yes, it's called B. subtilis. And here's the problem. Only about 30% of people have enough of this little guy to do the job properly.
Only 30%. So for the other 70%, all that kale might not be doing much for their K2 status.
It's a genetic and microbial lottery.
And even if you're one of the lucky 30%, modern life seems to have an army of assassins for this microbe.
A whole list of supervillains, yes.
What's at the top of the list? The biggest killer?
Without a doubt, broad-spectrum antibiotics. They don't discriminate. They wipe out everything, including your little K2 factories.
Okay, that's a big one. What else?
Well, steroids, like prednisone, and a huge one people don't think about, PPIs.
The antacids. Everyone seems to be on those.
Proton pump inhibitors. They reduce stomach acid. But you need that acid to absorb fat-soluble vitamins. like K2.
So you might be getting K2, but you can't even absorb it.
Correct. Then you add in things like glyphosate on GMO foods, which acts like an antibiotic in the gut.
Wow.
Add in alcohol, a high-sugar junk food diet, certain blood thinners.
Yeah.
The system just gets overwhelmed.
So if you follow the standard advice from the last few decades, you've basically created a perfect K2 deficiency machine inside your own body.
Which is why we have to talk about its partners. K2 doesn't work alone, especially not with vitamin D.
Right, everyone's taking D3 now. But wait, if D3 helps you absorb more calcium, isn't that dangerous if you don't have the K2 traffic cop?
That is the crucial point. K2 is the essential safety net for vitamin D.
An insurance policy.
A perfect way to put it. D3 is great. It boosts calcium absorption and even helps create the MGP and osteocalcin proteins.
But it doesn't turn them on.
It does not. K2 is the one that flips the switch.
Yeah.
Without K2, D3 could just be mobilizing all this calcium with nowhere for it to go.
So if you're taking D3, you really have to be taking K2 with it. Is there a recommended ratio?
There is. The general guideline is for every 10,000 IUs of D3, you want about 100 micrograms of K2.
100 micrograms.
And you want to look for the MK7 form. That's the natural, long-lasting form. The other one, MK4, is often synthetic, and you need to take it multiple times a day.
Stick with MK7. Got it. But there's a third member of this team, isn't there? The silent partner.
The silent and perhaps most important partner, magnesium.
Why is magnesium so critical here?
Well, if K2 is the manager, magnesium is the workforce. It's an essential cofactor. K2 literally cannot activate those proteins without magnesium.
So you could be taking K2 and D3, but if you're low on magnesium?
Nothing happens. The whole system grinds to a halt. In fact, D3 itself can't even become active in the body without magnesium to convert it first.
It's huge. So if someone is listening and they're taking K2 and D3, but they still have issues, like kidney stones or arthritis or a bad calcium score.
They are very, very likely low in magnesium. It's the hidden deficiency.
And the mystery is you can't really test for it easily, can you?
It's a testing nightmare.
Yeah.
A standard blood test is useless
Why?
because less than 1% of your body's magnesium is in your blood. The rest is inside your cells, inside your bones. The blood test tells you almost nothing.
So it's this massive systemic oversight. You have to look at symptoms, not blood work.
Exactly. The solution for properly managing calcium isn't one thing. It's the triad. D3 to get the ball rolling, K2 to direct the traffic, and magnesium to power the whole operation.
It's just an incredibly profound piece of information.
The simple part is the biology. The complicated part is how modern life has systematically dismantled that biology.
So really, what does this all mean for you listening?
It means K2 is the missing link, and its deficiency is often a direct result of us trying to be healthy based on outdated advice.
Maybe the problem was never the butter. Maybe the problem was taking the K2 out of the butter.
Or that the diseases we blamed on fatty foods were actually caused by a lack of the fat-soluble nutrients in those foods.
Exactly. So the next time you look at a nice piece of grass-fed cheese, maybe don't think of it as a guilty pleasure.
Think of it as hiring your calcium traffic cop back.
One delicious K2-rich bite at a time. It really makes you wonder, what other forbidden foods are actually holding the cure?